Hi, I'm here today with Jamie Welsh, founder of 10% Solution. They build, audit, and accredit social responsibility programs for companies. Jamie, could you please tell me more about 10%?
Absolutely, Mario. Thank you so much for having me here today. 10% Solution is a social responsibility certification and consulting organization. What we do is we come in and certify that companies are meeting, walking the walk and talking the talk when they talk about social responsibility programs. And our social responsibility programs focus on the three key drivers of social responsibility: philanthropy, volunteerism, and green sustainability. And in each one of those three key areas, we look at the gold standard in each one. So from a philanthropic perspective, it's 1% of sales or 5% of pre-tax profits. From a volunteer perspective, you must have an overall volunteer rate that equals out to about an hour a week per employee. And from a green sustainability, we look at certified third-party certifications that are out there. And those range from USDA organic to Greenie certified, and we have probably about 15 right now that we have vetted through that are true green certifications and not just greenwashing certifications. We also have what we internally call our Baby Steps program, and that is our social responsibility program for organizations that would love to be certified, but quite frankly have not figured out even what they need to do to become more socially responsible. So we go in and we work with those organizations to help them establish their social responsibility programs. We come in and do a baseline audit and then give them options in terms of how they can take those first steps into social responsibility. One of the key things we look at there is marrying up their social responsibility programs with the DNA of their company. Because when it comes to social responsibility, you have to be authentic and you have to be transparent. And if you're not doing something that marries up naturally with who you are as an organization, your customers and your employees will know it. So we really work with organizations to help them embrace who they are and then look what we can do to build that out.
Could you tell me about the importance of social responsibility programs?
Social responsibility has been around a very long time. But in the last 30 years, it's sort of come out of academia and into the corporate world. And to say that organizations, they're still trying to figure out what social responsibility means in terms of how they embrace that in a meaningful way. What we have found is that typically even companies that want to be involved in corporate social responsibility really don't have the framework for how to do it. So an example would be having a CEO who's writing a check to the United Way. You've got someone in HR who is cobbling together a volunteer program here or there because that's what they do. And then you've got your green folks over here, and we all know who they are. They're the ones who come marching in the office every week and go, "Why are we still using plastic water bottles? This is horrible. We need to be better about being green." So you've got these three very vocal groups, and yet they're not connected in any meaningful way. And so one of the things when you're looking at social responsibility, you really need to look at how to break down those silos and create a profit center and have a strategic vision for what you want to do as an organization. So now let's take an example of, pick a company. How about a dog food company? Okay, so the company that sells dog food. What's a natural fit for a company that sells dog food? Potentially supporting animal rights, doing something that helps with the betterment of the animal kingdom. Now, you take that same organization where you have the CEO writing a check to United Way, and now maybe that CEO is going to be writing a check to local animal shelters. You have your volunteer from your HR, they're getting together and saying, how can we take the money we're giving and marry that up with the volunteerism we're doing so that we're actually supporting this organization from two fronts. And now you've got your green folks, and they know for a fact that there's all these dog parks or parks around the neighborhoods that have no poopy bags. Well, guess what? Now you actually have something you can sponsor. You can actually put dog bags in parks, and now you've taken all three of those disparate groups, brought them together, broken down the silos, and you have a social responsibility program that is not only engaging internal constituents, but also your consumers and your community. And now it's no longer a one-way conversation, but a two-way street where you are actively engaging in something you believe in and something that marries with who you are as an organization. And that's true. That is where social responsibility is heading today.
Well, what is the reality of many sustainability and social responsibility programs now? Are they failing or inadequate in certain ways?
Yes and no. I think back to what we had just discussed. I think part of it is they don't know how to get there. And so it's organizations like 10% who actually can come in and help consult and get them on that correct path. Let's look at the fact that 90% of consumers today want to have and work with and buy products from organizations who support charitable causes and who are philanthropic in their endeavors. Okay, then you've got 64% that want to see some sort of third-party certification. So what is that telling you? It means I want a company to give, and I want them to be good, but I don't necessarily believe everything they're telling me, so I want a third party to come in and actually verify that what they're saying is true. It's incumbent on organizations to be transparent and authentic with what they do in their social responsibility path. And the fact that companies are stumbling through this is only hurting them. And that is the makeup of the landscape today. That you have some companies who understand it and who are truly leaders in the industry. The seventh generations of the world who truly started with that as their mission. And then you've got lots of companies who want to participate in it but have no idea where to start. And you've got consumers who are crying out for this in terms of tell me what you're doing, but also show me that what you're doing is real. And if they do, then what you're doing is giving consumers the opportunity to make a conscious, not a subconscious, but a conscious choice about whose products and services that they will purchase and buy.
How does your framework directly help build that solution for a responsible social responsibility program and sustainability program?
Well, we do exactly that. Let's talk about the certification program. When we come into an organization, the very first thing we do is we come in with forensic accountants, and when we talk about 1% of sales or 5% of pre-tax profits, those numbers tend to be about the same. And so we don't want to change any company's accounting practices, but at the end of the day, the important thing is that we're coming through with forensic accountants and validating and verifying that you're actually doing what you say you're doing. You can't just say, we give 1% of sales. We actually that has to be validated through our process. When we talk about a volunteer program, organizations can't say, we volunteer. Okay, that's fantastic. But our program requires that it's reportable, trackable, and that there actually involves all the employees. So one of the things that we encourage organizations to do is to take a leadership role in volunteerism. So it's one thing to say, hey, you employee, go volunteer. It's another thing when an organization is actually taking a leadership role in that and having a volunteer day where you as an employee get the opportunity to choose to sit in front of your computer or actually go grab a hammer and go help with the Habitat for Humanity for a day. So we really encourage organizations to take that leadership role in terms of volunteerism. And, excuse me, so that is absolutely, when we come in with our certification, it's not just about vetting through, but also helping organizations put the framework and the program in place that is a sustainable program. And every year we come back and we make sure they're still doing what they're supposed to be doing. So this isn't a marketing certification. This is not a certification where you get to say you did it once and then 5 years later you're not doing any of it. We come back every single year and you have to, again, show that you're maintaining your green certifications, that you have the volunteer programs in place, and that you actually are still at those giving levels in terms of philanthropy.